Hello everyone, welcome to today's presentation on basketball superstar LeBron James and his business venture Spring Hill Entertainment. So today we will start off by giving you a little background on LeBron and his business ventures. Then we will move on to a situational analysis looking at various components surrounding his decisions, things such as consumer demand, political and social environment, and then a more detailed breakdown of what the data is actually telling us. Following that, we will give out some alternative routes for his business, and to finish off, we will give a final recommendation and plan of action for the best alternative. LeBron James needs no introduction in 2016, but nonetheless, we must give credit where credit is due. LeBron James, aka the King, the Chosen One, the kid from Akron. He was drafted straight from high school. This is something very rare and actually not allowed anymore. He's one of the few players that lived up to the hype and became a superstar. So far, he has been selected for Rookie of the Year, multiple All-Star and All-NBA selections, 3-time League MVP, and 3-time NBA champion. One of the most impressive things about James is that he keeps performing at a high level for many years, and his longevity is certainly a factor in his greatness. Given all that I mentioned, it is without surprise that LeBron James is one of the most valuable basketball players ever, being the second highest paid, but with the greatest endorsement deals, a third more than the second Kevin Durant. As LeBron has been growing his career on the court, along with his high school friends, he has been growing his business ventures off the court. He fired his agent at age 20 and set up LRMR, an agency to promote his business ventures and marketing. He focuses on innovative partnerships, and rather than looking for endorsements, he's more focused on equity deals to ensure long-term growth. His entrepreneurial spirit extends far. He has ownership in multiple companies and has set up his own ventures as well. Robot Company's main focus, for example, is marketing for major companies. LeBron James Family Foundation is a charity focused on inner city youth, something that he's very passionate about given his background and being raised by a single mom. And finally, the venture we have come to discuss today, Spring Hill Entertainment, is run by his partner Maverick Carter. It is a content company based on sports teams, trying to uplift the marginalized communities and provide empowering content.
Thank you, Franny, for that great introduction to LeBron's powerful brand both on and off the court. So Maverick Carter has stated that their major business focus right now is actually growing Spring Hill Entertainment. Last year, Spring Hill entered into an innovative agreement with Warner Brothers Production. In this deal, Spring Hill Entertainment develops content ideas to pitch to Warner Brothers. For films, Warner Brothers has the first rights to the film, and if they don't accept, the film idea can be taken elsewhere. For TV, all of Spring Hill's ideas are exclusive to Warner Brothers for development and production. This deal also gives Spring Hill office space within the studios and pays for development and production of its content projects, as well as sharing some of the profits from the successful content products. To reiterate what Franny has shared with us, LeBron has a proven record of success in his sports and business ventures. In his basketball career, for instance, he joined a more successful team at the Miami Heat temporarily to learn what it takes to win an NBA championship, afterwards returning to his hometown and helping them win their first ever championship. In business, he has also taken some risks and has currently joined a larger, more successful production company in Warner Brothers in order to benefit from their strengths as well. After benefiting from this partnership with a media powerhouse, is it time for Spring Hill and LeBron James to look at another path? Specifically, should Spring Hill Entertainment renew its contract with Warner Brothers? As we consider Spring Hill's next steps, let's look at the current market climate. There is strong demand for content like Spring Hill's, as there are many potential and current fans in various population segments who enjoy Spring Hill's inspiring content about diverse audiences, as well as the content about the sports themes. This content can be enjoyed year-round on many platforms and networks, and by TV, computer, mobile devices, and movie theaters. Not only is there demand for content like Spring Hill's, but the demand is potentially global and can piggyback on LeBron's own global popularity. Currently, LeBron has the highest NBA social media following at 66 million followers, and Spring Hill's Survivor Remorse show has been renewed for a third season with a continued rise in viewership. Spring Hill can also continue to tap into the worldwide and especially the U.S. market which is very large. And again, with LeBron's stature as the second most famous athlete in the world this year, and his appeal to younger and more racially diverse audiences, we feel we will not reach the limit on this market for many years to come. Of course, in an industry like content creation, there is lots of competition. The established industry giants, the conglomerates, are powerful and have lots of experience and resources and access to talent. But there is growing demand for digital content from independent and new creators who tend to have more agility and can respond to trends more quickly than their larger counterparts, which bodes well for a new company like Spring Hill. However, if Spring Hill were to strike out on its own, it's possible that Warner Brothers, which is currently not only in the deal we talked about with Spring Hill Entertainment for TV and film, but also invests in and supports other ventures like Uninterrupted, it's possible that they could withdraw some support if we don't renew the deal with them. In addition, other superstar athletes could choose to try to create their own content companies and ventures. As I said earlier, the current climate does favor new agile content creators like Spring Hill. Political issues are making it harder for the larger media conglomerates to operate as they once did. They are also slower to respond to trends and are having to invest in costly digital transformation. Among society, there is a growing preference for new and innovative media, especially digital on-demand media. And as I said earlier, technology has made it easier for all of these trends to happen. Now I'll turn it over to Taylor to talk about how Spring Hill Entertainment is positioned in the current climate.
Hi, I'll now be talking about the stages of the product lifecycle for both Spring Hill Entertainment and LeBron James. As you can see on the graph, Spring Hill Entertainment is in the introduction phase. Despite being founded in 2008, it wasn't until recently that they started getting projects out and making moves. They partnered with Warner in 2015, and this has the potential to bring Spring Hill into the growth stage. However, it's still uncertain. We don't know about sales, so it's still in the introduction. People don't really know who and what Spring Hill is, and we're doing a lot of ads and advertisements to try to get a lot of awareness for people to know about Spring Hill. But it has the potential to be very profitable. Okay, next we're going to move on to LeBron James. As you can see from the graph, LeBron James is in the growth phase. He is making tons of money. He is a great athlete and he's at the height of his career. His net worth in 2016 was $275 million. He also made $44 million in endorsement deals. For example, there was endorsement deals with Nike, Beats, Kia, Samsung, and Coca-Cola. Also, his NBA salary from 2015 to 2016 was $23 million. LeBron James is making tons of money. He has a very broad portfolio himself, and everyone knows who he is. Moving on to the SWOT analysis, we'll start out with the strengths of Spring Hill Entertainment. So everyone around the world knows who LeBron James is. He has a strong social media presence. In 2016, he had 26.4 million followers on Instagram alone. People all around the world tune in to watch his games, and they watch his advertisement commercials, and he works with companies that are all around the world, so people watch him all the time. There's also celebrity endorsements. You see this in the show Becoming with Alex Morgan and Tim Howard. That whole show is highlighting sports athletes, and so there's more chances for continuous celebrity endorsements moving on in the future. They also have a lot of investment money. You see that people are partnering with them like Warner, and it shows that the companies believe in Spring Hill Entertainment. There's also already a history of success with different projects out. And it's a broad project portfolio that Spring Hill has. For example, there's an animated web series on YouTube. They have a comedy out. They have a game show out. They have sports docu-series and sitcoms. Now moving on into the weaknesses of Spring Hill Entertainment. So the team has limited Hollywood experience. They may be business savvy, but they may not have what it takes to break into the Hollywood scene. So moving in the forward, they might want to consider hiring someone with more Hollywood expertise. They also are currently in a restricted business deal with Warner. Their TV shows, if they get rejected, are at risk with never getting the chance to come to fruition. So moving on to the opportunities, it's a growing digital media market where LeBron is a leader. As mentioned before, everyone around the world knows who LeBron James is and wants to work with him. There's also a chance for partnerships, and it's a global brand. Okay, so threats, the changing market demand. There's also uncertainty in breaking into a digital media content sector. This is also new too because the team wants to do something fresh and new. However, that being said, there's uncertainty in how to do that moving forward. Also, in 2016, there's concerns and issues with piracy. Is their content really protected and safe? Now going into the marketing mix. So what is Spring Hill Entertainment? So the product is basically an entertainment and creative content company. They pump out all contents. The place where people can consume it is all digital media channels, internet access, YouTube, and also TV networks and film. The price is basically free with any access to TV and internet. However, some channels need subscriptions, such as for stars. The promotion is a lot of partnerships with TV networks, celebrities, and companies, and ad campaign.
Thank you, Taylor and Sarah. So after looking at all the analysis, we believe Spring Hill has 3 potential alternatives. The first would be to renew with Warner Bros. This would continue growth and focus on stability. The second would be to renegotiate better terms as we grow. This would give us more exposure to the market while still maintaining that support from Warner Bros. Studios. The final one will be to venture out completely independently. This gives complete autonomy over our decisions, but obviously it does entail a lot more risk for our business. Looking at our first option, Warner Bros. Has several pros and cons. Some benefits to continuing our partnership include more security because we are partnered with a long-lived successful business. This would entail savings on development and production costs. We would also have access to offices and great facilities. As we can see from the graph on the right, Time Warner, Warner Bros. Partner company, has been achieving steady revenue growth in all 3 of their segments of business, averaging around 3% growth per year. However, some of the disadvantages would be limited opportunities for us to venture with other networks, which would hinder our growth and our creativity. The first look in TV deals with Warner Bros. Can be pretty limiting when we consider our opportunities to present our content. Leveraging our growth, however, LeBron's brand and the consumer market we attract, we could potentially renegotiate a much better deal for us. This would entail more profit share and some more creativity and an ability to promote our materials whenever we want. An added benefit to this is that we would still be under the wings of Warner Bros. Stability and kind of reputation, but we would still have more power over our own content and the promotion on Warner Bros. Networks. Some drawbacks, however, from these options is that it can limit our ability to expand our partners and we can fail to maximize our growth opportunities. Another thing to look at is Warner Bros.' relevance in the theatrical products, which is movies. They've shown strong growth in video games, as you can see on the graph on the right. However, their TV product growth is slowing and their movies have actually been at a loss and their growth has been decreasing. So this might not be good for us to stay with them in the long run as we look to grow. And then finally, looking at our third alternative is to venture out completely independently. Some of the benefits here include complete freedom with studios, which will give us more flexible power to control our content and a greater variety of TV networks to participate with. Also, more control of our profits could lead to have more impact and more impact power for LeBron. Specifically, more money would be poured into his mission through his charities. Some disadvantages, however, on this route is that there is a big upfront cost. Maverick has mentioned that they could raise capital easily given LeBron's fame. However, it is always hard to find people aligned with our mission. Some of the upfront cost is related to building potentially new facilities or renting, which would probably not be favorable in the long run. Lastly, we could anticipate conflict with Warner Brothers given that we are taking away a big part of their viewers and their business. And our Space Jam exclusivity might be compromised, which is something LeBron is very eager about participating in. Now I'll pass it over to Salman, who will go over the best alternative and the plan of implementation.
Thanks, Frane. Now that we've reviewed the choices, we'd like to move on to our recommendation, which is to stay with Warner Brothers but renegotiate for more flexibility. The goal of negotiation will be to obtain first look terms for both TV and film to allow for greater growth and flexibility. Some of the factors that led to this decision include the fact that Warner Brothers is heavily invested in LeBron, Spring Hill Entertainment, and Uninterrupted, our digital media platform. Sticking with Warner Brothers allows for continued production and cross-promotion of our already successful shows. And another big factor is Space Jam 2. We believe this is a generational opportunity and it's only available with Warner Brothers. Space Jam 1 is the highest grossing basketball film of all time and starred Michael Jordan, who was the face of the NBA during that era. LeBron James is the current face of the NBA, and we believe that starring in Space Jam 2 will significantly increase his brand and recognition, particularly in younger generations. Lastly, Spring Hill has bargaining power and a good relationship to negotiate these better terms, and we feel that's the good business decision to pursue this. However, there are certainly some possible drawbacks and other considerations to keep in mind in regards to renegotiation. One of these considerations is that Warner Brothers does not own a major broadcast network, and a continued deal may hinder other partnerships. However, Spring Hill has two other films already in development or released outside of Warner Brothers, showing the value of a first look deal in providing flexibility to pursue these other opportunities. Therefore, we recommend negotiating a deal to maintain the first look terms for film and obtain similar flexibility for TV. Additionally, we believe a short-term deal of 3 years, similar to the current deal, gives a good balance of flexibility while giving some stability for the next few years. When assessing the alternatives, we view the decision along a spectrum, from renewing the current deal to going independent. Renewing the current deal locks us into Warner Brothers for TV and thus limits our growth opportunity. Additionally, we feel there is a clear opportunity to maintain the relationship with better terms, and we feel it'd be a mistake to leave this on the table. On the other end, going independent has significantly increased costs and risks, particularly with Spring Hill being in its introductory phase. We will still need to partner with major studios to be able to fund the development and production of TV shows and film. Additionally, there's the potential to lose Space Jam 2, which we spoke to the potential of, and additionally, there's the negotiation burden that may crop up with the prior content made with Warner Brothers and that will be made in the remaining 2 years of the current deal. Therefore, we feel that renegotiation strikes the best balance and sets us up optimally for the next few years. And with that, I'll hand it to Taylor to discuss implementation.
Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the timeline and budget table. So starting today, Spring Hill needs to start meeting with lawyers and prepare a marketing campaign. And then in about a month, they need to start preparing a negotiation deal presentation for WB. And then in a year, schedule a negotiating meeting with WB and then start working on TV show ideas. Just get those gears going so that they can start pitching those in the future. And then we also want to prepare a negotiation and start raising money, because if we get the new deal, then we need to start raising money so that we can start producing our own TV shows. We also need to start building up business relationships and launch the marketing plan. So we want to build up those marketing relationships so that we can potentially partner with different studios and companies in the future to launch our TV shows. Also, our marketing plan is basically to raise awareness about Spring Hill and Uninterrupted, and also so that people know what shows we're going to be pumping out there. So in total, this is going to cost about $6 million. You got $50K for lawyer cost. There's also $1 million for increased advertising and marketing. That's for brand awareness. Those are being targeted to sports fans, and same from the 4 Ps from before, the lower income, underrepresented communities. And also $5 million will go to TV production cost. Okay, so what should Spring Hill do if the renegotiation deal fails? So we're going to go ahead and start raising money. We need about $12 million in order to buy a new office, also launch an ad campaign, rent out production sites, and produce content. We will also need to do funding for potential show development outside of WB, since we'll no longer have the studio access with WB. We also need to start pitching our show film ideas to other studios. And we need to hire another teammate with Hollywood experience, because that's what we're lacking prior, and that will really help if we're trying to go independent. And finally, we're going to focus on expanding Spring Hill and Uninterrupted, and we're going to launch an advertising campaign, doing the 4 Ps that we did before, just focusing more on doing it on those social media digital content platforms. But this is just if things fail, but they will not, because LeBron James and Spring Hill have prepared, and they will get this renegotiation deal done. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed our presentation.